After defeating the acrobatic Silky and uncovering its connection to Aira, our heroes face new challenges. With Aira revived by the Acro Silky's sacrifice and one of Okarune's balls recovered, the stakes are higher than ever. In the next scene, after those events, we move to Ayase's house, where the friends ate together, joined by Aira and Turbo Granny. Okarune and Seiko stared at the quietly eating Ayase and Aira, and as Ayase was getting some food, she asked if it was true that Aira was angry at her for dropping a basin on her head, adding that she wasn't trying to become close friends now, but she also didn't want them to be enemies, so she admitted that what she did was excessive and apologized. Now, she said she wanted Aira to apologize to Okarune for making him look foolish, and after that, they would be even, to which Aira asked if she had any idea about this, and that she wouldn't hold a grudge over something as trivial as the wash basin incident, explaining that she was pursuing Ayase because she knew she was a demon. Because of this, Ayase said that she had been telling her all along that she wasn't a demon, and that she was mistaken about everything, and now she had turned on her, and if anything, she was a pain in the ass. If that was the case, Aira retorted, then what kind of creature was Okarune, causing Okarune to cough in surprise. When they fought Acrobat Silky, Okarune had apparently resembled a demon, and there was no way, Aira continued, pointing at Seiko, that this woman was his grandmother, as she was hot and too young, which caught Seiko's attention and prompted her to praise Aira for being such a sweet girl. And in fact, she claimed that Momo is a demon, which greatly irritated her and made her yell at Seiko to be quiet, and that she was just causing trouble. Aira commented that she knew it, and immediately pointed at Ayase, while shouting that Okarune and Seiko were both demons, and Ayase was the boss in charge of them, suspecting that their aim was to destroy this world. This caused Ayase to shout again, and ask if Aira was a total idiot, and if she had that kind of power, the first thing she'd do is blow up Aira's head, telling her not to aggravate her pubescent paranoia, to which a shocked Aira said that Ayase would blow up her head, and then had an aha moment, claiming that Ayase's true nature had been revealed. Aira stood up while finishing her food, and declared that although she didn't have enough strength to defeat Ayase now, she was confident that day would come, and when it did, she would crush Ayase. Ayase also stood up and accepted her challenge with pride, promising to thoroughly crush Aira, which prompted Aira to comment that Ayase shouldn't underestimate her because there was one thing she was forgetting, and that was that she had been chosen to protect the peace of the world due to her unparalleled cuteness. And as she said this, she posed with a peace sign. After that, Aira grabbed her things and ran out of the house while shouting thanks for having her over, and that the somen noodles Seiko made were delicious, causing Ayase to yell at her to wait because she wasn't done talking to her. Because of the compliments Seiko received from Aira, she took her side and told her to hang in there because she would beat Ayase one day, and that she, as her Annie, was rooting for her, which also annoyed Ayase, who called her an old hag, and asked what she thought she was doing. Before Aira finally left, she called out to Okarune, getting his attention, and pointed out that although he was a demon, he had saved Aira several times, which made her wonder why, causing Okarune to be puzzled while Ayase yelled that she had been saying all along that he wasn't a demon. Okarune responded that it was only natural that when someone is in a bad situation, you try to help. Aira seemed to be moved by this, understanding that there was still something human left in Okarune's heart, and because of that, she said she would free him from Ayase's grasp, promising to do so. After saying that, Aira blushed and started walking away again, which surprised Ayase, who said she didn't understand what just happened and that Aira's mind was really out of whack, with Okarune adding that she had seriously misunderstood things. As she walked, Aira told herself that it was wrong to have feelings for Okarune because she was human and Okarune was a demon, and that it couldn't be. In the next scene, Okarune suddenly shouted, asking if the one he was talking to couldn't do what they were doing in a more normal way. And it was revealed that he was talking to Turbo Granny, who was holding one of his lost marbles, telling Okarune to stop complaining and that she had already told him she would return his marbles. Seiko and Ayase prepared as if they were at a baseball game, with Seiko commenting that the pitcher had the jitters, which made Okarune nervously ask why she was trying to bat away his marble, while Turbo Granny questioned Seiko's statement and asked who she thought she was talking to, telling her to just watch old Turbo Granny's ball come to her. Turbo Granny prepared to throw forcefully, and after throwing Okarune's marble, she shouted that she would make Seiko eat her words, to which Seiko retorted that she talked too much and tried to hit Turbo Granny's fastball. However, Seiko missed the marble, so it solidly hit Okarune's groin, causing him to cry out in pain. The force of Turbo Granny's throw sent Okarune flying, while Ayase, pretending to be the catcher, shouted strike, batter out. Seiko quickly made Okarune jump up and down after his marble hit his groin, which Okarune did. After jumping up and down, as he looked at it, Ayase asked if it had returned, and soon after, he shouted with joy that he had gotten back one of his marbles, making Ayase cheer. Seiko commented that the ball was high and inside, and that she would hit it next time, while Turbo Granny boasted, asking if her ball wasn't smoking fast, as Ayase asked Okarune if it wasn't great that he had gotten back one of his marbles, to which Okarune replied that it was embarrassing. In the next scene, Ayase and Okarune were at school, and while walking in the hallway, Ayase commented that they had gotten one marble, but they had no leads on the second one, and Okarune agreed. Ayase asked if Okarune had a PC for paranormal message boards, to which Okarune apologized, saying he didn't have one. Ayase thought that maybe she should get another job to get a replacement phone because those 4-year loans were a serious ripoff. After that, she said goodbye to Okarune and told him they'd meet on the roof at lunch, but Okarune apologized and said he wanted to work on a report over lunch. Ayase acknowledged what he said and asked if after school they could go to an internet cafe, but Okarune just apologized again, and as Okarune was about to give his reason, Ayase ignored it and let it go. Because Okarune didn't join her for lunch, Ayase went to her 2 friends and invited them to lunch instead, which made Miko ask about Okarune, to which Ayase explained that he had to work on a report, causing one of her friends to comment, "Oh dang," and suggest having Okarune do his report too, while Miko said Okarune was hardcore. Ayase agreed, but said there was something fishy about all of it, which made Miko ask what she meant, and she replied that Okarune was hiding something, and it seemed pretty obvious. Miko asked if it was a girl he was hiding, and Ayase shook her head, saying Okarune would be the last person she'd suspect of such a thing. But as she was about to say, she thought of Ira, yet she still denied that Okarune would do that. She suddenly decided to just buy a drink, and Miko asked her to get a Pampy for her too. Ayase bought from a stall at their school, purchasing 2 cartons of Pampy Orange, and while walking back, she wondered what Okarune might be doing, feeling uneasy for some reason. She thought that maybe she should peek into Class C for a moment, but quickly dismissed the idea, thinking she might just disturb Okarune working on his report, and it would be better to do her own homework. However, as she was walking, her eyes widened at what she noticed, and it turned out she saw Okarune on top of Ira behind a building at their school.
Police! Help! Police! Help!
Ayase dropped the carton she was carrying in shock when she saw this scene. In the next scene, we go back to the time before these events occurred, where Okarune was doing push-ups, and after completing 20 reps, his arms gave out, and he said it wasn't good and shouldn't be like that. He thought that when they searched for his other marble, another monster would surely appear, and he'd need to fight it. And while saying this, he put on wrist weights and started doing squats while remembering the training Seiko made him do. 5 sets of 100 push-ups, sit-ups, back exercises, and squats. And he also thought that he needed to become tough and strong, because if that didn't happen, he'd put Ayase in danger. Ira arrived and called out to him, so he turned and asked if he could help her, to which Ira pointed out again that he was a demon and Ira was a human. And as she was saying that even though she knew it was wrong, Okarune made a side comment that he wasn't a demon. Ira continued what she was saying, stating that even though she knew it was wrong, she couldn't stop her feelings from coming out, which made Okarune ask what she meant. Ira stretched out her hand to Okarune and ordered him to stay there. So Okarune wondered again what was going on, but Ira just told him not to move and close his eyes, which made Okarune shout, "Wait a minute." Ira approached him and suddenly tried to kiss him, causing Okarune to cry out and push Ira's face away from him. Ira asked why Okarune avoided it and why he was being weird, to which Okarune countered that Ira was the one being weird, and why would she do that out of nowhere? Ira reasoned that isn't it right that when you confess your feelings to someone, you need to kiss them, which made Okarun go huh. Ira added that she read it in a book, and it said that a confession equates to a kiss, and a guy has an obligation to accept that confession. Okarun was speechless and said that all of that was wrong, asking what kind of book Ira was reading, to which Ira replied that it was in her dad's den, making Okarun shout that she had read a dirty magazine. Okarun seemed to start playing tag with Ira to get away, and while this was happening, he asked if Ira wasn't popular with guys, so how could she be so romantically awkward, to which Ira questioningly said the words Roman tongue swords, making Okarun shout that that wasn't what he said. Their hands clasped and they wrestled for strength. And here Okarun begged Ira to stop because an attractive person shouldn't act like that, to which Ira replied not to equate popularity and romance, and that he didn't even know what it takes to be popular, and she wasn't romantically awkward, she just didn't know things, so Okarun shouldn't make fun of her. Okarun countered that that was the definition of romantically awkward, and that what Ira was thinking was completely wrong. Ira still forced herself on Okarun and reasoned that this was the very first time she felt this way, so Okarun should just let her confess, which made Okarun comment if she was insane or possessed again or something. Ira then swept one of Okarun's legs, causing Okarun to lose balance, and because of that, they both fell, resulting in their position with Okarun on top of Ira. And here you could see how flustered they both were by what happened. Ira puckered her lips as if expecting a kiss from Okarun, and this was when Isa saw them. Okarun heard the juice cartons Isa was carrying fall, and when he looked, he saw the shock on Isa's face at what she had seen. Okarun tried to explain, but was quickly cut off when Ira said to hurry up and do it, so Okarun shouted that what Isa was thinking was wrong. But it was too late, and Isa was already disappointed in him, angrily saying he was a turd burger before leaving. Because of this, Okarun tried to chase after Isa while explaining that what she was thinking about what happened was wrong. So Isa countered and said that Okarun had told her he was working on a report, but now she'd see him fooling around with that skank. Isa pointed out that Okarun's jacket was off. He was sweaty, and what were those things on his hands? S&M things, so Okarun said there was a logical reason for all of that. However, Isa continued to walk out while saying she didn't want to hear his excuses and that the report was just a lie, to which Okarun agreed that it was a lie. Because of that, Isa disappointedly said she'd heard enough, so Okarun tried again to say wait and that he had valid reasons, which made Isa shout that she'd heard enough, causing Okarun to stop chasing her and just let her leave. When Isa returned to the classroom where Miko was, she asked if Isa had bought her Pampy juice, to which Isa just sat at her desk and banged her head on it while saying she had given it away on the grounds, causing one of her friends to be speechless, wondering if it was some kind of joke, and Miko to ask if they were out. Isa replied to just wait a moment as she was thinking, which puzzled her friends that she was thinking. In the next scene, we moved to their next class where they were studying a Japanese mantis shrimp, and their teacher explained that it had a punching speed of 80 kilometers per hour with 150 kilograms of force. And if it were the size of a human, that would be equivalent to 700 tons, and it could knock down an elephant with one blow. Even with water resistance factored into the equation, the force was that strong, and if it were in the air, they should just imagine its destructive power. While Isa stared at the shrimp with disgust, she suddenly spoke to it and said she understood it and that sometimes it felt an overwhelming desire to punch things, which shocked her friends and made them think she really wasn't feeling well. It turns out that the scene Isa saw earlier had really stuck in her mind, and here it was obvious that she was very bothered by it. As a solution to get it out of her mind, she tried punching her own face, and after a while, she stopped and just sighed. This was when her friends realized that without a doubt, she had been possessed by the spirit of the shrimp. On the other hand, while Okarun was listening to his class, he continued training by secretly doing bicep curls, and he was thinking that Isa was right and there was no point in making excuses. He thought that if he got stronger without Isa knowing, he would look cool to her, and now he had told her an outright lie, and his current situation was the result of that. He had disappointed Isa, so he wondered what he should do now, And if ISA was really important to him, he told himself he should forget the excuses and be tough. While thinking about these things, he suddenly noticed that the floor had turned to water, and when he looked around, his classmates and teacher had suddenly disappeared. Someone shouted from outside his classroom, catching his attention, and as the person shouting asked if anyone was there, he quickly went out